we're back in session, so to speak, for the year-end transfers. Angie just gave us an update spreadsheet, if you will, of where things will be going. Take some time to look it over. Noxious weed didn't get anything submitted.
JR is coming out of not this week capital outlay.
Okay.
It's not on that sheet there.
No. And then the sheriff never got you anything?
No,
Okay.
okay, thanks.
Attorney,
Nothing.
and that fiber optic, there was 400,000 there, we just put it, where we put it at?
Well, I didn't, it's not on, I minimized it on this list because we're gonna do away with it next year. So,
Right.
and actually I need to cut out my spreadsheet too.
And you had nothing left for the janitors, so to speak.
I did, but in order to keep enough money in the general fund to actually to allow for any 13th month expenditures, I didn't take everything out I could possibly take out because I need to make sure we have enough to cover any 13th month bills.
Okay. Juvenile still county attorney. Lake would still be the sheriff. Landfill. Brooks asphalt.
With everything I've taken out there, we would have at the end approximately 300,000 still left in the general fund to cover any 13th month.
Okay.
And that, we can go further, take it down further if you want, but I didn't know how far you want to go. So I was just kind of,
You would know more about the 13th month than I, so I mean, if you think 300,000 is what we need for that, then let's do it.
I just feel like it should be a little safe.
I can speak for everybody, so everybody speak up.
Yeah,
You see
tell
something.
me what to do.
Yeah. But if they don't have theirs in, there's not much we can do, like the sheriff and the attorney, correct?
Yeah. If they don't have anything to transfer, then they just stop having.
If they don't have anything, they're probably not planning on transferring anything.
But we haven't received any notification either, to my knowledge, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Angie, a couple questions, and maybe I should already know the answer, but on capital improvement reserve, which is 123, you know, this is moving it up to 8.2. A year ago, it started at 4.9, so we're increasing that to 3 million. And equipment reserve, 121, a year ago was at 2.8. Now we're starting out at 2.3, less the radios, which gets down to 1 million.
Right.
Do we need to adjust them a little different? It's just a question, so.
I can tell you kind of my thought process on that, and of course it's your decision on what you guys decide to do. Looking at possibly doing something with the jail in the future, and needing funding for that without potentially taxing the taxpayers more, I thought that it might be a good idea to start building that capital improvement reserve up so that if the voters decide and agree voting on building a jail or whatever you guys decide to do, you would potentially have the funding for a large portion of the funding without having to tax the taxpayers. And then equipment reserve, it did go down some.
Yeah, we're down to $1 million after repair to the radio, which that's a 1.8 million drop.
Yeah, those, if you look at the very top, the balance of equipment reserve
Yeah.
prior to these is just under $1 million. And, that is largely due to the radios that were purchased last year. There's still about $1 million in radios that needs to be paid for.
See, we're starting out 1.8 million less than we did a year ago. I'm just asking a question. Do we need to start out maybe like that? Maybe some of the capital improvement needs to be moved to.
Yeah, and that's your guys' decision, and that's just kind of where I was coming from, looking toward the future and what you may have coming forward.
So if we run into a major issue, say we adopt this, run into a major issue where technically it should be coming out of the equipment reserve, we got any flexibility in going from one area to another? How tough are they on auditing that?
Well, you still have money in the general fund that you can spend.
There's still money in the general fund, yeah.
Yeah, but no, as far as once funds are moved to a reserve fund, they can only go back to the fund they came from.
Okay.
The capital improvement, we're going to have capital improvement, whether we build a new justice system or whether we do that, we're going to have it. And it's going to be 2 or 3 years before something is probably finished.
Oh,
So
Probably.
and we were looking at 15, 16 million maybe. We can have a big chunk of that and not penalize the taxpayers.
yeah.
And I think that's something we're gonna look at.
We could do it. And as far as equipment reserve, we're still gonna have over $1 million left in it.
$1 million plus
And
$1,000.
I don't know if we've ever quite spent that much on anything when we weren't buying radios. Twice we bought radios and we've had it. But
Well, I was just asking a question, how flexible we can be when it especially becomes a special need and what the law and the auditors allow us to do.
we have 4 million community improvement. We can always help with something else if we need to.
Mhm.
The radios, one of the reasons it's $1.3 million this, we still have that left is because this time we're paying for all cities and everybody's.
So that
For
started
the
out,
first time, they reimbursed the county for their part of it,
see, that started out being what, 2.4 million total?
2.3 something.
Two something, it was
Actually,
2, 3, or
the
4,
minutes of 2.167,
is how much?
2.167.
Okay, I knew it was
Sorry.
2 something.
Okay.
I was thinking 2, 2 or 3.
Which I'm not opposed to us paying for everybody's. I
No,
think it's great
yeah, it is
that we can do that.
helpful, be helpful with that.
And then if you'll notice on the risk management reserve, we finally are at the 10 million, which was the recommended.
Well, see, that was our objective a year ago, to get it to 10 million. I just checked it off, so. Just in looking at it, Angie, maybe I should have said in the commission, I can't see if any other changes we need to be making. And that's the only questions I have is on that equipment reserve and capital improvement.
We're just lacking.
Angie, what is that risk management? What is that for? Can you kind of explain it?
The risk management, the county went self-funded on the health insurance here about 5 years
Five,
ago,
6 years ago.
Actually, no, 8 years ago.
8 years
It was
ago?
about when my son was born, yeah. And so, our advisors that we work with on our health insurance as well, their recommendation was to have, if we could have a 10 million in reserves. That would cover any major, things that our insurance wouldn't cover possibly. So it's a protection for the county.
It's kind of what I thought, but I just wanted to.
And by going self-insured, we have saved
A lot.
a lot.
A lot.
A lot of money.
And then also in capital, well, in capital improvement, that's where the next land sale landfill sale will come from
Yeah, see,
also.
we put 400,000 in there this year.
So it will all, they'll come from there also, yeah.
Is that where that fiber optic money needs to go to, is capital improvement?
We'll have to capture that fiber optic money at budget time this next summer
Okay,
with the auditor. We'll pull that back into probably the general fund to help fund the 2023 budget.
emergency management's a little bit different than what they requested is, or am I reading it wrong?
No, I might have had a typo.
Well, they requested 25,000 be moved to emergency equipment reserve, leaving 65 in their management account.
Yeah, and I think, I went ahead and just put it all in there for the sake of trying to build up the equipment reserve because it has gotten down quite a bit.
She don't need that.
She won't need the full amount earmarked, no. Whatever she wanted is all that would need to be earmarked. This is just the total that will be transferred there.
She's aware of that change.
Yeah, I can make sure that they're aware of that.
Well, she's okay with it, I guess. You did. Wasn't something on her agenda, I guess, is what I.
Well, no, actually, I had talked to her about the 65,000 being transferred out.
Okay,
A lot of departments aren't real clear on all the transfers and stuff like that. Some of them think that it can be used next year, and if it's not budgeted, we can't. And in this case, any of the general fund money that we have, if it rolls over, then it's cash we can't touch until it's captured at the next budget in next year. So,
awesome, okay.
so she was fine with me transferring that, yeah.
All right, awesome, thank you.
You ready for the snow up there, Tim?
Nope,
The way it's coming across, you and Fred will get more than what we'll get down here.
that's the way it looks.
If they're accurate on their projections.
That's what that's like.
So the moisture's not a bad deal.
Okay, we're dry. As long as we stay away from the ice.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't like it.
don't care for that ice. It's,
We had a request here in noxious weed.
For noxious weed capital outlay, yeah, it's coming on the resolution.
Okay,
It's just not on this particular spreadsheet.
okay,
I just didn't put it on there.
okay.
Well, if the storm holds true, what they're saying, it's gonna be just another thing. It's gonna be storm on a weekend and a holiday, which that seems to be when we get the vast majority of ours.
Yeah,
So are we waiting for something else yet?
No, I mean, mainly Donna's putting the numbers in on the resolutions and, I wanted to see if you need to make any changes so I can have her make those.
I don't see any. I don't know about anybody else.
I don't either.
I'm good, but I think we're doing the right thing by moving what we're getting around.
you know, with the response or the answer we had on the capital improvement, I understand that. I'm good to go.
I'm good.
I'm all right. Sounds like we're good then.
I'll bring that back.
That first meeting that I missed here 3 weeks ago, Angela was here, Angela and Bobby. And I haven't went through the insurance deal yet. I think the total cost was 350 or 60. Does anybody remember, how much of an increase was that over last year? Or was there a decrease, or do you?
It should
I'm
stay in
curious
there.
where it fell in at.
It should stay in there.
Said, I haven't been through it yet.
This year it was 327,525. Next year, 348,519.
Okay, what page you on?
I'm on the, I'm towards the end, about 2 or 3 pages from the end, I guess. 4 pages from the end. Back, one more, I think, Don. One more. I got, right, should be right there, right? Should be there.
327,
I can't tell whether you're, okay.
Don't want to do these motions just yet. I'm gonna double check the resolution that she added the numbers in, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to see what my insurance does.
I'm sorry,
I said, yeah, I can't wait to see what mine does in March.
I paid mine here the other day, my insurance went up. I don't have a lot of stuff, you know, some ground and equipment in the house and everything. It was up less than 1%.
Mine went up 10% last year, of course, I had a couple of claims.
Do your vehicle insurances go down? A lot of companies were
I did.
advertising the insurance to go down because nobody was going anywhere.
My vehicle insurance is almost identical, Bob.
But I do it.
So with inflation, they,
Don't write on
with
this one.
inflation, they just didn't really get you anything back.
On farm, we've been with State Farm for a number of years. Had a good relationship then, but with my grandson's in Farm Bureau now. I did switch to Farm Bureau.
So,
And,
that's what you do.
a year ago, a Farm Bureau premium was $950 less than what it was at State Farm. So I'm kind of glad I switched over. And this year is almost identical.
It didn't go up any, Dawn?
I'm sorry,
Did yours not go up any?
1%, I mean, it was within $50 or $100, I mean, which $100 would be $2 or 2%. God didn't change hard at all. But we hadn't had any claims, in fact, we haven't had any claims for several years, other than crop claims. But I've only got 60 acres too, Tim, so we don't have a lot of stuff.
That's about what I got.
A couple of years ago, we had a crop claim to the planted corn, less than 5% of it came up. That's a federal government deal there.
Yes,
That doesn't
it
go back into your farm phone.
I ended up getting tractor insurance on drought.
You got something back that affected the grass?
Yes, and it did good this year, paying out. Because he had 2 orders, I guess you'd call it,
Gotta take this last year, the SNAP program, the CARE program,
To what?
there's some funds out there.
yeah.
Okay.
That's like this new program they put together here last week. All the row crop for corn, beans, and 2 or 3 other crops get $20 an acre. And that has been, I
Should
mean,
I pass these around so everybody gets there?
they've got that thing, too many things that aren't quite what it should be.
Yes. The resolution's coming up to be approved. Two of them out of.
This here's the original copy.
Yeah.
Was just a good, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically duplicating what you have on your spreadsheet.
Right.
I just thought I'd let everybody see it in case they wanted to see it.
I was kinda surprised they put a value in there on row crops. And they just set it at $20. $20 an acre.
Do you want to see these?
The cattle people have had a lot of it.
Just the resolutions of what we're gonna end up doing. This explains each resolution.
All right.
We'll need to all sign those when we're done.
Can't sign until we approve that.
We're done. That's the way the resolutions are written out.
All right, do these need to go back?
So, if you want it to work.
All right.
You know, go out and celebrate tonight, Tom?
No, I'm gonna go across the street, my new garage, I play cornhole, and I'll
Right.
here, so I'll eat supper in a little bit.
Well,
I'll probably watch a football game or two. I won't stay up.
I never stay up.
I'm sorry?
I never stay up. I've never, ever really celebrated.
You can go ahead.
50 years ago tonight,
Well,
I
that's
was
true.
stayed up and celebrated because I was sitting in Australia. But
There's,
other than that, I go to sleep.
There's been a few times where we, 8 or 10 couples got together to play cards. And we've probably done that 8 or 10 times in the last 60 years.
The older I get, the less important changing of the date of the means. So we do have a resolution 731P, move to approve resolution number 731-P, the resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Equipment Reserve. Everybody's had a chance to look at it. Motion.
I'll make that motion.
Bob's made, moved,
All second.
Tim seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We'll pass this one around to sign now that we've approved it. We have another one ready for approval. It's the 730-O. Move to approve resolution 730-O, a resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Capital Improvement Reserve Fund.
I'll make that motion.
Tim Junior,
I'll second.
Don seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. These masks are a little warmer than the other one.
I think those are 3 layers, aren't
That's
they?
what she said, and I can tell you that's
They're too pretty warm.
pretty warm.
Does your eyeglasses fog over as bad?
No.
We still need.
We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5, 6 to go.
Let's see if you got them ready.
Okay.
I can see.
That's one thing I did notice, it didn't fog up my glasses. I don't know why.
These last 3 Mondays that I've missed, a little bit of an update. The one I missed 3 weeks ago, I wasn't on YouTube and I wasn't on Starleaf. I just read the minutes from the meeting. 2 weeks ago, we couldn't get on Starleaf. Of course, Kathy and I are not very sharp on that, so we didn't get on YouTube. And I watched all that meeting 2 weeks ago. And I haven't had an opportunity to talk to Brad. But the maximum number of people that watched that meeting during the time it was taking place was 15. It moved between 9 and 15, because it shows down in the bottom left corner how many people watched. And it moved between 9 and 15. You take Tim and Fred and Bob, you could hear what they were saying. Angie was very hard to understand, and like you and I talked here a while ago, had a little trouble understanding quite a bit of what you was saying. And the Wayne Blackburn, when he's up here, you can hear everything he says. And I did talk to Wade a little bit this morning. If Wade's sitting over there, you can't hear what he says. But when he's up here, you hear. Last week I was on Starleaf, but we couldn't get it set up to where I could participate either by talking or
Oh,
I wasn't on the
I was
screen.
getting ready to pass them on.
Thank you. I wasn't on the screen. But on Starleaf, it was the same thing. I could hear everything here, but still had a hard time picking Tom up.
Oh, thank you.
And when Angie was doing public talking, couldn't understand everything she was saying. Like I said, I need to talk to Brad. To me, if we're gonna communicate all this stuff to our citizens, we've got to get a little bit better. Whether we need to be closer to our mics, whether Brad needs to turn them up, I have no idea. But, we need to improve it some. We need to improve it.
Two. Waiting on the rest.
And if somebody's not close to a mic,
You got them all?
if they're back behind, they get left up out of call. And I'm not being negative on anybody. We just gotta take some steps to improve. We can throw the other away, this has to do with the training, Donna, or what's this for?
That was one that Chelsea, a new one for you.
For the training? This is one we need for
For when you do Wolf Creek drills
Wolf
and
Creek
stuff.
training. Okay, the other one will be pitched.
Now we have.
Probably outdated.
Now we have resolution 767-L, a resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Special Highway Improvement Fund of $500,000.
Also moved.
Don has moved,
All second.
Tim has seconded, all in favor,
Aye.
motion passes 5-0. Now I have before me a resolution number 851-A. Move to approve resolution 851-A, a resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Solid Waste Closure Care Reserve Fund of $100,000.
I'll move.
Fred has moved,
All second.
Tim has seconded, all in favor,
Aye.
motion passes 5-0. Resolution number 733-K, a resolution transferring funds to the Sure we do.
We don't have that number on.
That's on the very bottom,
Well, 733?
733K.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought it said 722.
733K. A resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Noxious Weed Capital Outlay Fund, 58,000.
So moved.
Don has moved,
I'll second.
Chris has seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Resolution 732-N, a resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County GSI Fund, amount of $199,478.
I'll make that motion.
Don has moved. I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. I'm assuming you're saying aye, don't you? I can't hear you.
Aye, yeah.
Resolution 816G. A resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Risk Management Reserve Fund of $557,101.
I'll move.
Bob has moved.
I'll second.
Fred has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Last one will be resolution 633-U, a resolution transferring funds to the Coffee County Technology Office Reserve Fund in the amount of $90,000. I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
I'll second.
Tim is seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0.
I have the capital improvement plan revised that you guys looked at last Monday. We can go ahead and do. We can pass it.
Okay. I didn't know if each one was different. or-
Yeah, no, they're all the same.
There you go. Pass them around to you. Oh, okay. Your rebid spreadsheet.
Yeah, this is the one that you guys, or Angie wanted the 3 more years added on and then put the totals at the end
Yeah.
column.
They're all the same, Bob. A motion to approve the revised capital improvement plan, Coffee County, Kansas, and further authorize and direct the chairman to sign the same.
Let's go move.
Donna's moved,
All second.
Tim has seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion passes 5-0. Anything else?
I have a note here. I just wanted to make sure that you guys, I took this for granted, but you probably don't want to host the legislative discussion in January of 2021 like we usually do, where we invite the cities and schools and the senators and legislators to come and talk about the upcoming session before they go into session. So I just took it for granted that we weren't gonna host it because of COVID, but I thought I'd better run it by you just in case you still wanted to host it.
Anybody want to weigh in on
We usually have some good discussions, but nothing really ever comes from it anyway, so. It's good discussion for that day. They tell us what, I think they tell us what they think we want to know. Kind of goes from there, so. I'd say no.
it? Well,
Way the coronavirus is, I think we just, January is only a few weeks away.
yeah,
I
and
guess that
they're
would be-
expecting a surge after these holidays anyway, so I would say no.
Anyway.
I would say no.
You gotta continue to be safe there.
Yeah. For a few more months anyway, the way I'm seeing it and reading it here.
That's all I have.
Not today.
Anybody? Fred? Fred's last day is gonna be Monday. Is that correct?
What's that?
Your last day will be Monday, is that correct?
I think I come the 11th for just a little
Yeah.
while.
Well, yeah, but I mean, full day.
Yeah, my last full day is Monday.
So,
I wouldn't wanna make that. That's gonna be okay, right?
okay,
I mean, or did you already?
no. I will.
Well, we normally probably have some sort of little gathering, but we can buy donuts for each department, Fred's honor. And have them delivered.
I suggested that, and if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but I really don't want any kind of a celebration. That if you want to buy some donuts for each department and say, I suggested it or something, that's fine, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine too, so.
I don't have a problem with it. Anybody else?
Fred's been part of this Coffee County Commission for so long, he deserves a little bit of a proper send-off.
I'd be very happy with that, just for the employees to get a donut out of it.
Okay. All right, well, then that's what we'll
We
do.
really want to wreck our wellness program, don't
I'm working at it, yeah.
we? Actually, next week is our last day of maintain no game, so
Oh, really?
everybody weighs in and then they can eat their donuts.
There you go.
I guess I need to ask them, when we do the swearing in, we usually have cookies or donuts or something.
That's right.
Do we want to not do that or? um,
Or you can live off on my donuts till the following week.
I'm not saying that, I'm just, do I need to go ahead and get that for the newly elected as well, or?
I do not know why not. I mean, probably won't be a large gathering. I mean, I don't think there was last time
Have
either.
it for here in the meeting room or?
Yeah, we can do it that way. And Fred's deal's a different deal, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but yeah, continue on with what you do. I would assume, yeah, not speak for everybody. 2 weeks for the donuts,
Okay.
Do the donuts on the leg.
or whatever you're planning, cookies, whatever.
So I guess my question being, I don't remember when we swore people in before, do we still start at 9 and do that? Or have we came earlier and done that?
Typically, we've done at 9, but I did speak with Judge Wine's secretary, and he's not gonna be able to be here at 9. So they were wondering if you guys wanted to come in and start the meeting at 8 o'clock and approve the minutes, and then he could do the swearing in, or like years ago, the judge would swear in Vernon Burke, I think, and then he swore in the other officials at 9. So we can do whatever. I need to know that too.
Makes whatever, I'd be here anytime.
Like he'll be here.
Time's not an
I'm
issue.
not an issue here either.
You said Judge Juan wouldn't be here at 9, but he'd be here earlier?
Yeah, at 8.
And that's on the 11th, so we got till
Yeah,
Monday to decide that, is that correct?
yes.
So, might think about it here, so Monday, I'll remind us to make a decision Monday.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they could do it at 8:30, we wouldn't have a 45-minute delay there, but that's,
Yeah, I tried to see if we could do it at 8:30, but he's got to be in Linden, so he wanted to do
I
it.
mean, we could actually go into session at 8, call a meeting order, do our minutes. And then we could recess till 9 o'clock after that, couldn't we? No reason why we couldn't recess, is there?
Well, you'd have to do the swearing in.
I
And
mean,
then,
you have to do the swearing in, but
yeah, then
Don
you could recess until 9.
was worrying about 45 minutes, but
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we could recess and you
Oh,
could go
yeah.
get your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have time to eat that cookie.
Eat your cookie.
You have time to eat that cookie.
Yeah.
and your
And
coffee.
we'd have to, I don't have a problem, just have to kill 45 minutes somewhere. Do we have to officially open the meeting
Mhm.
prior
You
to
have to
the
go-
swearing in?
You have to approve the minutes because the outgoing has to be a part of the minutes being approved, and then the swearing in.
Okay.
Before any new business is conducted with the new elected.
Sounds like that's where we'll head then.
So I need to be here at 8 o'clock for the swearing in, or for the opening of the meeting, and then I'm done, right?
Yeah.
Be all right?
Is that what we're doing, 8 o'clock?
It sounds like as long as everybody else is doing it.
I'm okay with it.
You got time to eat your cookie and
My verify.
Fred, you got anything?
No, I don't, thank you.
Awesome.
No.
Don?
You know, that date's the 11th, that's the date of the fence viewing, supposed to be completed.
Is that one?
You and I need to make a trip up there. I almost drove up there last week, because I was at the Thomas Filling Station corner. I didn't.
We'll drive up there.
We need to take, that's the day that's the final,
I thought it was the 13th.
that's the final of the 90 days.
We'll drive up there after the meeting.
We can, maybe go up there sometime.
We can drive up there after the meeting. For me, I guess we'll while Fred's still with us, I'd like to make sure we make a decision next week on emergency management if we can, all come to an agreement, so. That's all I got. John?
I might just, I do have a couple thoughts on that, and I think we kind of messed up. I think we should have had the new commissioner in on the interviews, not just listening. Because, and I've argued this point before, I kind of hate that a person who is leaving makes decisions for the rest of the commissioners. We had this happen to us a year or so ago.
Well, that's why, I mean, we've done all the interviews, so everybody's mind should be made up by next week. So,
But
But where Bob's
that's
coming.
not what I'm saying.
I don't know whether a new commissioner, or whatever it may be, could sit in on an interview like that or not.
Yes, they can. It's been done before. It's been done
Wasn't
before.
sure what the legal part of it was.
I'd like to say again, I still like what Fred did. I mean, everybody's, I'm sure, hopefully is formed their opinion by now, or at least by Monday. If Fred's sitting in on all the interviews, he should have a say, in my opinion. I guess if nothing else, we'll adjourn till at 12:50 till Monday morning at 9 a.m.
You guys all have a good New Year.
Thank you.
You bet, April.
Gotta be safe, don't be asleep.
Down the battery.
grab some treats before you leave.
Yeah, do that.
That's right, Tom.
Donna, thanks for the Christmas goodies.
Hey, you're welcome, thank you.
Oh, by the way, Don, glad to have you back.
Yes,
Don.
Glad you're doing
I'm
that.
glad
Where's
you-
Ned, Don?
You know, I never did have a tough great day. Just mild headaches and occasionally a little temperature up to about 99.
Well, that's a good way to have it.
Kat and I, we both got on good.
Good, good.
I went and got my shingles shot.
You get your single shot. I got a single shot here.
That'd be insulting.
I thought, ooh, I forgot to bring a mask.
I was wondering.
Throw me out.
Tom, your plans on this emergency director, go into executive session for 30 minutes and all of us talk.
My plan, where are my thoughts?
And that's your call.
Well, that's just my thoughts. That
I think that's-
Fred's been sitting on all these.
Yeah, the only thing that Bob brought up is that
I kind of get that, but you know, when Cody and I come in,
hopefully Jesse support, yeah.
when Cody and I came in, we didn't get near the session that Mr. Knight did.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I can't remember, so when I've been here, that it's already been done, where the new commissioner sat in, so I'd like to know.
I just wasn't being legally good.
I would like to know which
Mhm.
because I've been here 16 years.
It'll work. Yeah, it'll work. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Take care, take care.
Very so.
You gonna fix some of the jalapeno poppers for tonight?
I might.
I'm gonna make scallops and,
Of course, you're still,
Filet.
you'll celebrate New Year's.
just Terry and I. And, I got some baguettes and baked potato. And Terry stopped by the liquor store and got me some wine.
You won't be able to hit your butt.
We won't make it till midnight though, you can guarantee that.
No.
I'm not good at that, there's some underneath there.
Well, there's a bunch of cookies.
Yeah, I need them, I need a whole one.
We're really good.
I gotta go.
Ah,
Yeah, wow.
I know.
This should be right.
I have
You know. This is gonna match the chicken. You know, you need to, next summer, this is what it needs to be.
We'll bring it up.
Yeah.
And let, the rain will be here Monday.
Okay.
And, right there. So it'll be a different, well, these are out back. And the mileage, and of course, out.
If they go this way, they come back, it's from me, Casey, this way, they go through. It's almost zero.
Yep.
That's next year, right now, they have. I don't care, it's close to zero now, if they go by.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you got to, yeah, that's the same factor as mine.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, it'll be next Monday. But, yeah, when the creek gets up, then you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah. But then it's gonna be wet, so there won't be any.
True. Right now, there's no dust.
You got,
You gotta look right now.
that'll go, we'll bring it up Monday.
Okay, y'all.